On the 3rd of November, we held our Together with Barnwood event at Kingsholm Stadium. We talked about our work from the past year and exchanged ideas to help shape our work for the year ahead. Before the event, we asked several of our colleagues to discuss their roles at Barnwood and how their work is helping the lives of disabled people and people with mental health challenges across the county.
Welcome everybody to Together with Barnwood. This is our second annual meeting for anyone in Gloucestershire who's interested in the work of the Trust. I'm Anne Santry, I am the chair of the Barnwood Trust, and it's my pleasure to welcome people today to see what's been going on within Barnwood and our plans for the future. This is now an annual event which is written into our constitution, and it's an opportunity for the trustees of Barnwood to share what we've been doing and to hear what you think about it and to talk together about the future. So the Trust has around £85 million of investment, and that allows us to be financially independent, which is really important. This independence enables us to create change, working with disabled people and people with mental health challenges to make that change, supported by both the Trust's people and our finances and funds. On the banners and on the tables, you will see the Trust's vision, purpose and goals.
Hi, my name is Georgia and I'm Director of Strategic Partnerships at Barnwood Trust, and I'm going to talk a little bit about who we have strategic partnerships with and why. So if I start first of all with the why, the main reason that we have strategic partnerships with organisations is to give mutual benefit to the organisation and to Barnwood Trust itself. So what that means is that we're looking for shared objectives where Barnwood can learn something usually from the organisation, and the organisation can benefit from some of Barnwood's resources or Barnwood's support with a particular project. We have 9 strategic partners at the moment. We have a partnership with Inclusion Gloucestershire. Inclusion Gloucestershire are a disabled people's organisation run and led by disabled people. We also have a partnership with the VCS Alliance. This is an infrastructure umbrella body that supports voluntary and community sector organisations in Gloucestershire, and a significant majority of those organisations work with disabled people and people with mental health challenges. We have a partnership with the community group The Churn, and they work with some of the most underprivileged people in Cirencester. We have a partnership with Access Social Care. They're a legal justice charity who support people to make sure they're getting the social care that they need. We have a partnership with the Grace Network. The Grace Network is a social benefits society which exists to create jobs and drive the economy in Gloucestershire to benefit underprivileged communities. We have a partnership with GL11. This is a community group based in Cam, and our partnership surrounds a specific piece of work that they're doing to provide counselling for people with mental health challenges in the local community. We have a partnership with Forest Pulse. This is a community organisation based in the Forest who supports disabled children and their families. We also have a partnership with All Sorts. This is also a community group that exists to support disabled children and their families. And finally, we have a partnership with FVAF. That's the Forest Voluntary Action Forum. We're partnering with them to support a community mental health project called My Network.
Hi, my name is Ismail. I work for the Barnwood Trust, part of the strategic development team. And one of my key areas of focus is looking at access to nature. Over the year and the years, I've heard the similar concerns, issues and challenges faced by people, communities, organisations and providers at what's the meaning of nature, how do people utilise it, what's the responsibility of providers, and how do we start breaking down barriers. So as a trust, we see multiple reports and papers written on this that nature does positively impact mental health issues. But for us, there's a step before that. Are they able to go to these places? Do they have access? Is the infrastructure there? Are there cultural awarenesses in place? And seeing this was the same issue for multiple organisations, how can we do this as a collective and work from a point of positivity in how we can change the sector, provide opportunities for people with disability mental health to connect with nature, how they can influence the work, how they can be part of the work. One theme came up that we should connect with Gloucestershire Local Nature Partnership Board. which is the overarching organisation that oversees the environmental, conservation, land management sector for Gloucestershire. July 13th, 2022, with a collective team of Barnwood staff members and experts by experience, we were able to host a co-productive learning event with Local Nature Partnership Board at Slimbridge. 30 organisations, 40 participants, which brought together national organisations to the local community organisations. And big aspect of that session was having experts by experience and those true voices to speak their truth about neurodiversity, physical challenges, emotional perspective, sensory needs, and then cultural aspects of barriers.
I'm Penny Hulbert. I've been working for the Trust in the Forest of Dean for the last 6.5 years in a number of roles. Did you know more than 30% of people with a long-term health condition experience mental ill health? And the Forest of Dean has the highest percentage of people living with long-term illness, which limits their day-to-day activities. Our recent survey revealed that only 46% of people living with single diagnosed mental health conditions were able to gain the support they felt they needed. The focus of my work this year has been supporting a mental health community scoping project in the Forest. It began by working with Simon Price and the local VCS organisation, Forest Voluntary Action Forum, to put together a funding application. This funding enabled Simon to engage with the mental health community in the Forest to understand what existed already, what the community felt was needed to support mental health as a co-produced community response. This we called My Network. We worked together to establish a steering group from within our locality, which included representatives from the police, mental health services, housing agencies, activity providers, people with lived experience, and many more, and encouraged them to invite focus group participants to add to the richness of information gathered. So what has this consultation led to? The production of an extensive report, a film, an artwork which represents community co-production, 2 temporary roles for individuals with lived experience. Finally, a strategic partnership with Barnwood Trust and My Network with FAVAV to take this work forward for the next 3 years.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm the Policy Advisor at the Barnwood Trust, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about our Housing and Opportunities Survey. So in the spring of 2021, we carried out a Gloucestershire-wide survey of disabled people and people with mental ill health around access to opportunities and housing. Analysis of the 260 responses has helped us to create reports and recommendations in a number of housing and opportunity-related areas, whilst also giving us the chance to look at the experiences of people with a range of disability types and common barriers they encounter. 44% of people told us they couldn't do the things in life that they enjoyed or cared about, while 63% of respondents said they had a problem with their housing, from antisocial behaviour to lack of space for equipment and the need for adaptations to homes that are cold and damp. Whilst the survey was originally designed to inform our internal work, the findings felt too important not to share. The recommendations that emerged from the survey are quite detailed in terms of housing, education, volunteering, paid work, training and leisure, but can be simply summarised as better engagement, more accessible information and more choice. They are a call to action for providers and organisations to make changes and potentially collaborate with Barnwood to achieve this. We've already started sharing these findings with interested groups and decision makers, and will continue to disseminate the detailed recommendations and reports, including accessible versions, which will all be available on our website.
Hi, I'm Eibhlish Fleming. I'm Head of Funding and Social Investment at Barnwood Trust.
Hi, I'm Annie Pears. I'm an expert by experience for Barnwood and also a Barnwood Circle member.
Hello, I'm Deborah, an EVE at Barnwood, and I'm also a Barnwood Circle member.
So Barnwood's individual grant has changed in the last year. We're going to tell you about why it has changed, how the changes were developed, with a panel of experts by experience and what the new grants look like. So Barnwood has been issuing grants to individuals for many years. And in 2020 and 2021, during the pandemic, we were not able to accommodate the very high level of need for the funding. So at the end of 2021, to respond to these challenges, we undertook a full review of the individual grants. As part of this review, we carried out a co-design project with 12 experts by experience and 6 Barnwood staff. The group reviewed together the challenges and the opportunities posed by the individual grants programme and co-designed how it could work going forward. They co-designed it in a way that offered greater choice to people receiving the grants and in a way that would mean that the grants didn't need to close to individuals.
Barnwood is one of the very few places that offers funding which allows people to pursue opportunities. As a co-design group, we felt that this should be Barnwood's unique selling point.
We all felt quite strongly that disabled people and people with mental health challenges should be able to live and experience and make memories just like everyone else rather than just existing day to day.
Because disabled people and people with mental health challenges have passions and talents and something valuable to offer the county just the same as anyone else.
As a group, we also felt it was important that grants should give disabled people and people with mental health challenges more choice in their lives to decide what they wanted to do.
So out of this very thorough review, we developed our current Grant for You and Grant for Your Home. So Grants for You is open to people in Gloucestershire who have a serious mental health condition, ADHD, autism and Tourette's. The grant should enable them to pursue passions by improving their access to transport, technology and things for their enjoyment. Grants for Your Home is open to all disabled people and people with mental health challenges in the county. Individuals make applications through referral organisations and can apply for white goods and flooring. And the idea is that the referral organisations can provide more tailored support to individuals to meet their needs. We will review both individual grant streams with our experts by experience in the coming months and decide whether any of the criteria or processes need to change.
I'm going to end by providing some headline numbers about how we have been achieving our goals. Obviously, numbers don't tell the whole story about what we've been doing, but they can give a flavour. So far in 2022, we've supported organisations to develop over 70 new activities and opportunities for disabled people and people with mental health challenges. We've supported over 80 providers of opportunities to share information more accessibly and to act more inclusively so far in 2022. We have developed 30 relationships that are likely to lead to positive change in housing for disabled people and people with mental health challenges. And in terms of funding, the Trust has provided 1,068 grants to individual disabled people and people with mental health challenges, valuing just over £1 million. 128 grants to organisations and groups to enable their work to a value of £975,000. And finally, we have just awarded our first themed funding to organisations to increase digital inclusion for disabled people and people with mental health challenges, which was suggested to us as a project through Listening and Learning. That has a value of £450,000. Obviously, it's still November. We hope to do more before the end of the year, and you'll be able to read about that in next year's annual report.